Welcome back to my channel. My name is Mylène and I'm a personal stylist, and today we're talking about holiday looks. And it's holiday looks for every single body type. I'm also going to show you what I personally have purchased for the holidays, what I'm going to be wearing, including what I'm currently wearing right now. Okay, let's dive right in. I love Christmas. I love the holidays. I like getting dressed up. I love it, love it, love it. And I was really excited to show you what that looks like for every single body type. And I wanted to just share a little bit about what I bought. So this is not a sponsored video at all. This is just my favorite place to shop ever. I've even looked into how I can work with them, and there's no information about it. But what I did find was a link as a refer your friend kind of link. And I popped it down below for you if you want to check it out. It's gonna give you 45% off plus free shipping, which is everything, because I just spent what I'm about to show you $80. $20 of that was shipping, which is insane. So free shipping would make it $60 for 4 pieces of clothing. That's insane. That never happens. I've got that down below if you want to check it out. You have to sign up. You'd have to start a whole new account to get the discount and the free shipping. So the website's called ThredUp, and it's a consignment store essentially. What's so great about it though is that it has things from any time period. Like there's vintage clothes, there's things from 2004, there's things from the 90s. They're not as restrictive. I don't love when consignment stores are, only the last 2 seasons. The point of consignment is that we're recycling, reusing clothing, and especially when a piece of clothing or a style was so great for a certain body type at a certain time in history. For example, I love clothes from the early 2000s because there was a lot of kind of classic styles in very muted tones. So it was really easy for me. And now I wish that style was back so that it could be in stores right now, and it's not as much. So I find actually a lot of pieces from like early 2000s J. Crew, which is my sweet spot. Or I'll find just kind of cool vintage things, or even just things that, you wouldn't find in stores today. So it's kind of a huge collection of every type of style, every type of shape, everything. And what's great is once you create an account, you put in your sizes, so you're only ever looking at clothes that are in your size. So you don't get excited about a piece of clothing and then realize it's actually not your size. All right, enough of that. Links down below if you want to use it, but let me show you what I got. Starting with what I'm wearing. This is from the brand Wilfred, Aritzia's brand. I got to find something that was slightly muted, and in my really hard to find light green in my palette. I'm a soft autumn, so this is hard to find, and it feels festive enough as a result, but I'll show you what it looks like. It's just a little crop top, kind of a bustier top, and I paired it with my little gold pearl necklace. And what I'm also gonna pair it with, and I'll show you, because I normally buy a dress for the holidays or a couple of dresses, and I don't mix and match, and it's always 1 or 2 wears and then it's done. What I wanted to do is find pieces that I could wear again or wear outside of the holiday season for some of these things. Like during the winter season, I could wear some of these. And I wanted it so that I could just buy either a new top or a new bottom the next season or the next season to kind of keep switching it up. So I bought 2 tops and 2 bottoms. So like I said, this is the first top. Second top, and I should mention, I know how to sew and I like to alter my clothes. So I often buy things that I know I can alter. So there are things I could find that fit me perfectly, but sometimes I get obsessed with an idea and I'm like, I'll just alter it to be perfect. that's easier for me. So I got this tank top. It's a velvet gold and very pretty. It's very soft gold. It's not like gold in your face. I want everything close to my face to be muted and not too shiny, or too dark, which is really hard for me as a soft autumn. In the winter, especially around the holidays, everything's sparkly, everything's so either deep or really bright, so it can be a little difficult. So I figured these kind of tones are very muted, not too extreme. And yeah, it's a little too wide for me, and I knew that when I bought it. It's a petite, but it definitely isn't. The way they shaped this is it's boxy, which I like. I don't know if you can see. So I'm gonna take it in on the sides, and I figured I could wear this with jeans and, you know, either a blazer, because I love blazers, or a jacket, or even a cardigan outside of the season, outside of the holiday season, which is what my plan was. Same with this top. I could wear it again and again, which is what I wanted. Bottoms, I got this. Oh, this is so pretty. I don't know if you'll see it in the video, but this is from Anthropologie, and it's from an older season. I can't remember. I always like to look it up too, to see what season it's from, and sometimes it's, yeah, from 2004, 2006. It doesn't matter to me what year it is. I just think you can find something anywhere, and I like the option that it's open to every season possible. So it's kind of a cranberry red, warm red. I don't know how it's gonna come across on camera, but it is too deep for me close to my face. So as a skirt, it's perfect, and paired with like a nice green or gold. So it's a velvet skirt, and it was much longer, and I've just pinned it. I'm going to sew it. You might be able to see the pins. I'm gonna sew it so that it's my measurements, and I look better in kind of mini skirts that are kind of A-line, so it has that shape. It has a little bit of ruching, which isn't great on me, but it's not very noticeable, and I didn't find it was too drapey on me because I'm a flamboyant gabine. But look at this velvet. Isn't this pretty? And I can't handle too much of that super close to my face, so things like this further from my face, it works. Last skirt is from J. Crew, one of my favorite brands, and I really liked it in the early 2000s. It was very classic, but a little bit of fun every once in a while, and it has a good mix of natural and classic, which are my essences. But I wanted something really sparkly and fun I could wear with something more muted, and this is away from my face because it's a skirt. Like, this would be way too much right next to me, and it is a little darker gold, and I look better in lighter golds, but again, away from my face, it's not going to be a big deal. And it's just a little skirt. Again, it has kind of an A-line shape when it's on. It has pockets. Ladies know this is a selling point. And it's kind of got a drawstring tie, but it's great because it can go over tighter things. And what I also liked about having a top and a bottom, I could break up my lines really easily, which is key as a flamboyant gamine. So that I could wear at New Year's, I could wear it at Christmas, and it's shiny, and I always want to wear shiny things, but this is a way for me to wear shiny things, away from my face and in small doses. Okay, so now on to what to wear for every single body type. This is the dress edition. So these are dresses. You can use the same rules and apply them in a top and a skirt easily. But the fun part is I've started a Shop My page. It's kind of like a Pinterest, and I've created a board called Holiday Looks, subcategorized by body type, so you can go and shop away. It's all there for you, and the pictures I'm going to show in this video are from that collection. All right, dramatics. You'll look amazing in one solid colored piece. So ideally a dress, or like a pantsuit could also work, like a jumpsuit. You don't want things too wide and flowy, but you can do a little bit oversized, but you don't have to. As long as it's straight and stiff looking and long, you're good. So you do want that structure, you want that stiffness. You could do a silk, but as long as it doesn't drape too much, or like this is a good example. This is actually when I take this off and I hold it, it holds its shape, even though it is silk. So things like that. Soft dramatics, you can do a little bit of sharpness kind of near your face, but the materials and the overall shape, you want it to be more curve hugging and softer. A little bit more rounded, especially around the hips in that area. And you can also do long because you're tall and you're bigger boned and you want that statuesque look. So you could do like a halter top neck, of course. You could do kind of a one shoulder asymmetrical line. You could do kind of a square line, but in other parts of the dress are kind of more, you know, curve hugging, rounded, softer. If you wanted to do something shorter, you could, but I would probably end it at the just below the knee or the kind of a midi cut. That could work. Slits in a dress would also be pretty. Flamboyant naturals, think unconstructed and relaxed. Flowy, yes, but not in the flow you think of when you think of soft. It's more that it's just moving in the wind. It doesn't have a space that it really sits on your body. It kind of just flows on top of the body. You want it to have lots of excess fabric, kinda, but not drapey. It's not curve hugging. It's more loose and relaxed, open. I also find that this body type, because the fabrics suggested for it are like cottons and linens, and they're harder to be dressed up in that. So look for silks, and if you, like myself, kind of aren't super comfortable with silks, try to find something that has a bit more structure at the top. But because you don't look good in structure or extreme structure, look for maybe like a knitted thing over top. Like you could always put a knitted sweater over a long, flowing kind of silky, unconstructed dress. That would be really pretty. Plus it's the holidays, so go to town with the silks. It's all good. Naturals, very similar to the flamboyant naturals, but in a more moderate sense. So maybe not as super long, because flamboyant naturals can go long, 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 because they're all long limbs and everything. But you want it to be maybe more of a moderate, like a midi length. You could go long, but I like moderate on naturals personally. Plus, it's all about that openness. You'll have quite, you know, wider shoulders, and that openness here, that kind of draped openness looks really nice. It's not soft drapeness, it's openness drapeness. That's beautiful. Soft naturals, we're gonna take what we got from the naturals, but put a waist there. So you're gonna still do loose and unconstructed, but then it comes in at the waist in a relaxed fashion. And what I think is so beautiful on every soft natural I have ever met, and I've met a lot in my life, is flowy details on top of their softness. So that's over their hips, over the softness of their arms when they have those wide, very flowy, you know, sleeve. Oh, it's so pretty. It's just like they pull it off the best because it has that relaxed, flowy vibe, but it's also honoring that really beautiful softness they have on top of their width. Or if you wanted a longer sleeve, you just taper it at the wrists and have everything else kind of softly, you know, sitting on top of that softness. Lengthwise, I would say midi, you can go a little longer, but midi looks best, I think. Dramatic classics, very similar to the dramatics, but the only difference is you want it to feel a little bit more put together. And to do that, you want things that have a slightly defined waist. It's not extreme waist emphasis or waist emphasis. It's just, it has that put togetherness, whereas dramatics is very straight lined. This can have maybe a seam in the dress that has just a line, and it kind of goes a little bit like this. Very classic, very still structured and long, but not overly long, more moderate because you're a moderate height generally. That would look really beautiful. And some sharp details around the face would also be really nice. So things like a high neck dress would be really pretty, or a one shoulder would look really nice. Just think straight and tailored. You could also do lots of tailored, straight lines on the top and have like a slightly pleated skirt type of idea. That would be really pretty. Soft classics, you want pretty much the same thing as a dramatic classic, but soften it with the materials and with the edges. So you want tailoring and you want it to feel put together, but you want softness added. So that's now waist emphasis. You want kind of flowier details, little bits, not anything crazy, just tiny bit. It's almost like you took a soft natural and refined it. Or you tailored it more, brought it in. It's kind of like that. So you have a bit more flow in your velvets, in your silks, and your chiffons that kind of move a bit more. You want that waist visible, so you emphasize it, and you want some structure, just a little bit, but in a softer fabric. Flamboyant gamines, you'll look adorable in short and very straight cuts. So it doesn't have to be a shift dress necessarily, but anything that is mini and very boxy on you. You don't need your waist emphasized at all. In fact, you look great when you don't. But if you wanted to, you could dress like a dramatic classic, but in a petite version. So you just shorten it to a mini with something that has kind of a waist definition. Nothing crazy, because it's really not part of your beauty, but I think that would look really nice, especially if it's really structured and has like very sharp lines. So almost if you had this in a dress. Also, I'll have examples here. You can also do what the dramatic classics did with like a high neck, but in a shorter, petite mini dress. That would be really, really nice. Or you could also do kind of a dropped waist vibe, but in a mini dress. So nice. Soft gamines, look for structure as well, but you're kind of like a mini soft classic in a way, but not entirely. You want shorter lines as well. You could do middies, but you don't want things too grandiose, not oversized, and you do want your waist emphasized with nice little rounded details. So puffed sleeves, puffed, maybe at the waist, maybe at the wrist, just a puffed rounded collar even, little bows, anything that feels rounded but not huge on you. And you do still want some stiffness, but with that added softness. So you can do velvets, you can do some silks. Theatrical romantics, you're a little bit like a shorter, soft dramatic in a way. So you can do some sharp edges near your face or around your shoulders. So that could be a one shoulder, it could be a little bit of a square neckline, but you want drapiness and your waist to be emphasized. What's also really beautiful on a theatrical romantic is this idea of following the way the curves go. You're adding room and huggingness around the softest part of your hips, and things come in near your knees. That kind of tulip type shape looks stunning on you. You can do some flowiness just as long as it's not unconstructed and you do really want your waist emphasized and have maybe a little bit of angularity at the top. Nothing crazy. And lastly, romantics. You will look amazing in draped, hugged, rounded everything. You want your waist really emphasized. You want roundedness around every part of your rounded body, your soft, beautiful, luscious body. You can do shorter kind of lengths, but you also look really beautiful in midi lengths, especially when they come in at the knee, because it's all following those lines, that softness, and then it comes in at the knee, just like theatrical romantics. And again, you can do some flow, but really it's not unconstructed. You could do maybe a strapless dress that, comes in extremely and puffs out. That would look really nice, just as long as it feels very soft. Like the first thing you think of when you see it is, ooh, that's rounded, that's soft, that's luscious. And you want velvet, stretchy materials, like anything that feels very drapey soft. And yeah. And that's it. Those are the dresses for every body type this holiday season. I'd like to do a whole winter series. It's gonna come with layering and how to layer for every body type, coats for every body type, and wearing colors that are so out of your season in the winter, which can be very difficult for some. I'm going to show you some pairings that I think are really beautiful. If you have any problems, issues finding your body type, your essence, your coloring, I have all those packages and more. I also do custom packages. All my information is down below. You can email me, message me, whatever works. Don't forget to shop my page for all the dresses you saw today, or check out the link for ThredUp to get your 45% off and your free shipping, which I wish I had free shipping, I really do. And at Christmas, that's crazy. All right, I hope you all have a beautiful holiday season.